Hello, I'm Gary Bellman, and this is News You Can Use. Joining us today are Jim Guire and Jerry Hart from Valley Industries. Jim is the Executive Director. Jerry is the Director of Marketing. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having us, Gary.
Could you tell us, for our listeners, what is Valley Industries?
Valley Industries is a sheltered workshop. We're located right here in your community. We are located in Hazelwood, there at Lindbergh and McDonald Boulevard. We are employing 200 workers with developmental disabilities, doing subcontract packaging, assembly, and shrink wrapping for industry. So we're employing people in the community that aren't employable in other industries.
And I remember when you moved out there, but some people might remember when you were right here in the heart of Florissant.
Yes. Absolutely. Our corporate name is Florissant Valley Sheltered Workshop, Inc. We're doing business as Valley Industries. We were founded in Florissant, and we were here from 1967 until 2001 when we had an opportunity. We had been operating 2 locations, one in Florissant and one out in Olivet, Missouri. We had been asked to merge with a workshop out there in 1990, West County Workshop. They were having some difficulties, so we merged with them to save jobs. And then the strain of running 2 locations for 10 years was taking its toll, and we opted to go for one big industrial facility right in the center of the 2 facilities to bring them all together into one large productive workshop. So we're very proud of our 60,000 square foot facility and to be located here in North County. We're excited.
And you're, I think, sometimes a hidden treasure in North County. Sir. And how long have you gentlemen worked for the workshop?
Go ahead, Jerry.
I've been with Valley Industries for approximately 16 years, and have enjoyed it year after year.
And Jim?
I started right out of high school in 1985 as a volunteer.
Wow.
And to do some service hours for Prep North. I went to school right here in the community in Florissant at Prep North, and had to do some service work. And as soon as I finished my 2 weeks there, I knew that I was hooked. It was a wonderful, productive workforce, and the workers really are proud of what they do, and it really kind of brings you into the place.
Okay, you mentioned developmental disabilities. Let's define that, and let's tell people how you hire your employees and how great of workers they are.
I can tell you about the disabilities. Jerry can tell you how great those workers are, because he loves to he loves to showcase them every day when he's taking customers on tours. Developmental disability, we employ people with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, maybe some autism, Asperger's, mild mental retardation. It's just a whole variety of developmental disabilities. We also have some of our workers, in addition to a developmental disability, some of them have physical disabilities as well. So they're in wheelchairs or using walkers and canes. But the primary disability has to be a developmental disability for them to be certified. We're certified through Department of Elementary Secondary Education and Voc Rehab that they are certified for sheltered employment when we hire them.
And best workers in America. These guys are awesome. They use every ability that they have. I like to tell people we're all disabled in various ways, and we all have to deal with those disabilities. But our guys, when they come to work, they want to work, they're excited about what they do, they look forward to it, and they're very gifted at doing repetitive type work like we do at our workshop. Much of it's packaging, blister packing, shrink wrapping, folding, gluing, putting kit builds together. For instance, we did part of the Windows 7 launch. When that kit build went out, 37,000 kits all over the world, we had the privilege and honor of being able to put that kit build together. And they did a great job. They do a lot of work for Weight Watchers International and other very large companies locally, like Boeing, who gives us great work, and cleaning metal parts and those type things. But watching them use the gifts that they have and the abilities to their fullest extent brings a joy. And customers say that again and again. They've never seen people with this kind of excitement doing their job.
Describe what it is, what it's like to do a tour of your facility. I mean, it probably for some of your customers, it's probably
they don't know what to expect when they come in there. Once they see.
Gary, that's one of the reasons I went to work there. When I first saw what the workshop was and saw what these folks were capable of doing, I got excited. So my first thought was a visual introduction to what we do, and inviting people to take a tour through the facility and going step by step through all the various jobs that we have set up. There's days where we may have up to 15 different jobs that we're doing on that floor and a variety of different customers. So to have our customers go through step by step and see the variety of work that they do is exciting, and it's very eye-opening to them to see these folks that so many think of as disabled, but they're seeing their abilities at work. And by the time they're at the end of that tour and they've seen all their different abilities at work and their smiles and their excitement that they've got guests coming in and those type things, it just, again, the customers are very excited, and that's where the sale comes in. They either go out and tell other people, or if they're a customer themselves, they'll typically give us the work and let us do a quote and bid.
See, the enthusiasm from the workers is just really catching, and
is.
especially in the busier we are. We've been super busy the last couple of days. The busier we are, the happier they are. They are happy to be productive and have a job and be gainfully employed and making money and working to the best of their ability.
If we have a parent who's watching this now of a child with a developmental delay, what is the process of seeing if they could be employed at Valley Industries?
Well, we have an application process just like any other employer. We have an employee service provider who's wonderful, Terry Wilson. They could contact her or myself as far as the best way is, first of all, to bring their child in for a tour of the workshop and see what they think. Would this be a good fit for them? We love to have tours and get it from their perspective. I'm all about choice of employment. A sheltered workshop is a choice just like any other employment model out there. So it's got to be a good fit for them and a good fit for us. And if they're excited about it, they can fill out an application, and then we've got a process for as jobs are open. We try and work through a waiting list and get people hired as soon as we can as work is available.
We also have a 3-minute video on our website at www.valleyind.net. And if they go to that website and click on the video, the promotional video, they'll see what our workers are doing. And I think it's important for anybody to go to that website and see what they do.
Yeah, without even stepping foot in the building, you get a pretty good perspective from there. But we're excited. You got to come out. Seeing is believing.
Absolutely.
And Jim, you said something that I think is really important, that the person you're going to hire has to want to be there.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes when people look from the outside on developmental delays and disabilities, they don't give them that right. But I think what you said is it has to be really emphasized.
And I think it's always got to be good from the worker's perspective. We have opportunities at Valley Industries, and we have a lot of different areas within the workshop that they can work and succeed and grow. It's not just all packaging. We have a production department that they could be a worker in doing packaging and assembly. We have a custodial department that if they like to do housekeeping, we do our own custodial with our own workers with developmental disabilities, and they run the floor scrubbing equipment. They scrub, they buff, they wax, they do a good job. And so we've got that ability. We've got the thrift store. If they want to deal with the customers and the retail end, they can help with bagging or running the cash register. We've got, the last couple of years, we've had some new innovations in that we've created some new positions to give them more to aspire to, and because of the economy the way it was, we had to be a little bit tighter as far as our staffing levels. So we started to put more on the workers to challenge them. What can you do? And we created some positions of line leaders, crew leaders, final inspectors. We have workers doing quality control, working for where we used to have 3 quality control supervisors. We have 1 quality control supervisor, and we have 4 final inspectors, people with developmental disabilities, doing the opening and inspection and reporting to the QC. They keep their notebook, their pen, their calculators, and they're running. I mean, we've got opportunities within Valley, but then we also have relationships that if they want to try and work out in the community, we support that. We can help get them engaged into the supported employment process. Let them try something out. We'll have a job open for them if it doesn't work out. We want them happy and satisfied. We have people coming from supported employment to us because they didn't get the supports that they needed or expected. It wasn't a good fit for them. So our newsletter is filled with stories about people who have tried it and really prefer the sheltered workshop, the structure, the camaraderie of the workers, supporting each other, getting excited. It's not segregated employment. They are very interactive with our staff. They're very engaged with our retail customers at the thrift store. They're very engaged with the Mayor's Shamrock Ball and being a part of the ball and the dancing at the ball and all that. So their job at the workshop and their paycheck allows them to participate in our community. And that's what people have to understand. Because of their job at the workshop, they are active participants in the community.
What does a day look like from trying to, and I know from talking to you in the past, sometimes transportation is an issue, but what does their day look like when they start off and until they're ready to go home?
Our workers come in at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they come in a little bit earlier, and that start at 9 o'clock, and immediately, I mean, they're standing in line waiting to go on the floor. Go to their workstations. All the jobs are orchestrated ahead of time in our production meeting. We're ISO certified, so it's critically important that they orchestrate each job and know who's going to be working at each position. So each worker knows their position, where they're going to work. The supervisors know just who they are and where they're going to be seated also. And then they work, they get out 2 15-minute breaks a day and a half-hour lunch break. So they actually have a 6-hour work day per day.
Okay.
With the they get off about 3:30 every day. And but their day is just filled with work and fun. They enjoy their social life there as well as their the work that they're able to do.
And you know, when they're having break and lunch, they're solving all the world's problems no different than you and I. You know, the lunchroom is filled with round tables, and they're having the round table discussions, and you know, we get the morning paper, and some of them are reading the paper and very engaged in different things. And what's really fun is when they engage with the customers, when the customers come through on tour, and while Jerry's trying to tell a customer what a good job they are, what a good job they're doing, they're also chiming in, look what I'm able to do here, look at what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
You know, and they're excited and engaged with the customers.
Jerry, could you tell me what the ISO certification means?
Yeah, ISO certification is basically, again, a certification saying that quality and service, ultimately leads to quality and service, are the most important thing to us. When our workers are working, the ISO certifies that we've got these jobs orchestrated and set up correctly so that the quality ends up 100%. We don't fault our workers if there's an issue. We have our quality control folks and whatnot. We find any issues along the line as its packaging is taking place and continue to do that. If there's any issues that come up, we back into how a quality issue took place, and then we correct it so that it never happens again after we back into it, and that eliminates those quality issues, and our quality seems to get better and better and better because of the orchestration each morning in our meetings. And our customers are very satisfied with our quality and service.
Okay, talking of customers, being the marketing director, how do you go out and approach a new company or a company that's been worked with you before to engage them in coming to Valley Industries?
A lot of our engagements in the community. We're heavily involved in the chambers, the Greater North County Chamber. We just had an event there today that we sponsored for the Shamrock Ball that'll be upcoming March 2nd. We also are heavily involved in other chambers in the area, the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, the Maryland Heights Chamber of Commerce, and a Business Network International group that meets every Thursday over in St. Charles. That gives us an opportunity to tell large numbers of business people at one time who our workers are, what their capabilities are, and express to them what Valley Industries is all about, what a good customer is, a good referral, etc. And then when we get those referrals or those opportunities, as we just did at the St. Louis Business Journal Women's Conference, they just held down at Union Station. People see us, meet us, we give them our cards, they get back to us and say, hey, we want you to do some work for us, when can we get together? And we set up appointments and have them go on a tour, and I want them to be very comfortable that this is their plant B. We want them to understand that their plant is plant A, we're plant B, we can take on their projects and meet their deadlines and meet the quality needs.
Customers want to know their job is safe there.
Absolutely.
And the key that Jerry said is going out and doing these. We are, the last 2 weeks have been very, very jam-packed. We're grateful to have time on your show here.
Yes.
You know, we sponsored the Greater North County Chamber today. We sponsored the Northwest Chamber last week.
Yes.
Jerry and our team went down to that St. Louis Business Journal Women's Professional Show, and those are good opportunities to meet really key contacts and get good feedback. And you in this day and age, you always have to be networking. And any of your residents in town, if they don't have any need for the workshop within their own means. But if they know business people, this is how we work and get the word out. If they understand what we do, they can give a good referral that could help lead to work. And the more jobs we get, the more workers we can hire within our community. And we are hiring. The workers with developmental disabilities are all coming from the North County area all around us. Florissant, heavily, Blackjack, Hazelwood, and even down Jennings, Veneta Park. I mean, we have workers coming. If you look at Valley Industries, where we are on the map, we are really pulling 10 miles all the way around us, west, south, east, because we are an outreach from several facilities that we were able to help over the years. We helped the West County Workshop with that merger in 1990, and then we helped over in Jennings, Universal Workshop went bankrupt in 2005. They had 70 workers with developmental disabilities that were going to lose their job. We hired half, and another shop hired half, and we welcomed in, that was in 2005, we welcomed in 35 new workers from that U-City, Jennings, West Florissant area, which is awesome. I mean, now it's we are a very well-rounded, diverse workforce, and just really outstanding. A lot of strengths from all those different opportunities over the years.
If we can go back again, we I think kind of went over it, but what type of jobs do you do? I mean, could you explain to the people what kind of jobs you do there?
Sure. We do a lot of kit building, packaging. We do a lot for Weight Watchers International. They're on the East Coast. It's much less expensive to package and assemble and distribute from the Midwest than it is from either coast. So they go to our videos, see what we're doing, and now we get their business and we begin to package and assemble and distribute all kinds of kit builds and those type things. We have local printers and printers nationwide that we do a lot of folding, gluing, stuffing folders, assembling folders, gluing the folders, and those type things with transfer tape, double-sided tapes, those type things. We do pharmaceuticals and food products. We're FDA certified, and that's critically important. We were just audited this morning with the EPA as they came in on some of the products that we package in our facility. They want to make sure that we do it correctly. And so our facility is an open facility, and we allow anybody to come in that wants to do any audits with FDA or any of those type things, because we can assure them that we're doing the things right and following the protocols necessary to meet our ISO certification and their requirements.
Our audits go off without a hitch. I mean, that was a nice thing. EPA walked in for the first time. We file an annual report on different products that we package. They were very happy with what we were doing. You know, and some places of business might worry every time a government agency walks in the door to see what they're doing. We don't, because we have processes in place and we orchestrate everything and we follow the protocols, and they come in and see what everybody else sees. Seeing is believing. You want to believe and you want to know what the truth is, come to Valley Industries and take a look at what those workers are doing, because seeing is believing.
And I understand you have a Workers of the Month.
Yeah.
And how does that go? Do they work? Is that a competition that they get into there?
Well, it's a bigger competition since the Mayor's Ball came into existence 6 years ago, and the Workers of the Year become the king and queen of the ball, because the Workers of the Year are chosen from that Worker of the Month. Tell Gary how excited those workers get, how they cheer for each other.
When we're on the tours on the floor, they'll frequently say, "I want Worker of the Month this month." And it is great, because these guys really want to excel, and to be Worker of the Month, they have to show up, they have to do a great job, have the right attitudes and those type things. The supervisors are the ones who work most closely with them, and they're the ones who are fortunate enough to be able to vote those guys who are going to be the Workers of the Month. We have one man, one woman each month. And the thing I love about it more than anything else is when they have this event and Jim's offering them their plaques and calling them up, when they win Worker of the Month, the other workers hop up and they're excited and high-fiving them and hugging them, and it's like, woohoo!
Yeah.
You know, these are the best folks I've ever worked with.
There is no,
They get
I
excited
didn't get
about
it.
someone else excelling
Right.
and winning something, and that's awesome.
And it's a neat opportunity for businesses to come in. We just had, we get different sponsors. Helfer's Pastries right here in the community has been an every month Worker of the Month sponsor since
Absolutely.
1992. Kathy and Chris Helfer, they bake a personalized cake every month for the man and the woman with their name on it as the Worker of the Month. So they have been a long time sponsor. And then we have opportunities for other businesses. Kevin Hall with Bomarito Automotive with what is it, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen,
And Honda.
and Honda in Hazelwood. He came in with his company and was a sponsor, and he came in to help give out the awards. Kathy and Chris Helfer have come out in the past and helped give out the award, and they get excited when they see the workers, and then they take advantage of the opportunity to give them a high five and tell them what the community thinks about them, because they are, we can represent them, but the workers need to be able to represent themselves. And it's nice when our customers and sponsors give them that direct feedback. You guys are doing a great job, and because you guys are doing a good job, Jim and Jerry can go out in the community and tell people the good works that you're doing, because you're here. We see you here doing it. We understand.
If you, as we stay on the workshop for another minute, if you could tell a story of success from over the years, and what would that be? If you had one story that you remember the most as far as a success, that maybe when they came in they were having difficulty and struggling, and as they grew with the company, what would that be?
Well, you know what, we've got we've got a lot of stories, and I can tell you that a lot of the success is because of the processes and programs we have in place. We haven't even touched on the training program that we have to help train all these guys. Everybody goes through an on-the-job training program for 6 to 8 weeks. We've got a personal care attendant program with some personal care attendants if we got some that need some help getting in and out of their power wheelchairs to help with meals or restrooms. But we have a training program that can work with these guys on goals, and those goals can be productivity goals, it could be behavioral goals to help make their employment successful, it can be a whole variety of things, and we can help. We've had several workers who were on their way out the door because they couldn't do the job, or they couldn't control themselves enough to be productive in the environment. You can't have, with 200 workers, we got to have everybody, in order to be able to plan good quality, everybody has to do a good job, and you can't have chaos. You got to have people working quietly. So sometimes some of the behaviors with the disabilities can get in the way. But I probably the biggest, and because of that, we can deal with all those minor things. So if there's anybody sitting at home, any of your viewers thinking, oh, my son or daughter couldn't sit still long enough to work, try us out. Give us an opportunity with our training program. Terry Crow, our training program manager, and Kathy Swinggross, they can both do wonderful things with goals, and we start out with minor goals, and when they hit that achievement, then we up the bar. We're always up in the bar. So it isn't like they have to come in and be able to sit still for 6 hours and be quiet to be productive at the workshop. We can work with them. So I want that perception and that understanding out there. But I would say we've got probably the biggest success, I'd say, with the workers is their years of service. These are careers at Valley Industries. I've got 2 workers that I'm very proud of who have been with the company since we started March 13th, 1967. Pat Leffler and Rosemary Barker. Pat was the first worker hired in 1967. Her success is that she worked, as we've said, we have opportunities from within. She worked as a worker production from 67 until, I guess, 1984. And then she had an opportunity, and she actually was promoted to a full-time staff person. And she worked full-time staff as a supervisor, assistant supervisor, and supervisor from 1984 through today, doing an awesome job. And she's running jobs and doing things just like the regular staff. We give her some extra supports too, but because of her abilities, and she's also a success in that she started long before we had any kind of caller rides or oats. So there's a lot of them that know how to ride that public transportation. We've got a public bus stop right there on the parking lot. If you search on the Metro maps and look for the Valley Industries Loop, we have bus 66 and 44 that come on our parking lot 5 times in the morning, 5 times in the afternoon to get our workers safely on the parking lot and pick them back up so they don't have to walk up McDonald Boulevard alongside a ditch. But she takes that public transportation every day, takes the bus in all kinds of weather. Her attendance is great, and she's I'd say she's a Valley Industries jewel. 45 years of service. Rosemary Barker started June, 45 years of service. Her success is that when her mother passed away, her sister monitors her affairs, and her sister lives in Washington, D.C. Her sister was so comfortable with Valley Industries and the job she has there, and with Village North Retirement Community right there at next to Christian Northeast. Rosemary lives there. She takes oats to the workshop, and her sister monitors affairs, and we keep her updated in Washington, and she knows she's in good hands here because we have good programs here in St. Louis County in Florissant that they don't have in Washington, D.C.
Tell us real quickly about your thrift shop, so that we can. I'm
Jerry,
sorry,
you
yeah.
tie in the thrift store. How does that thrift store tie into all this?
The thrift store is outstanding. When this so-called recession started and all that, one of the goals was to start several things so we wouldn't have to participate in a recession, basically. And the thrift store was one of those ideas that came up. We have this small building that used to be Southern Cross Lumber's display building, and we changed that into a thrift store. And with all of our big neighbors and small around us, from Boeing and GKN, Covidian, BU Miriu, the airport, these folks are bringing in things, and a lot of the parents and the siblings of our workers bring in things that are really nice, gently used items, and they bring them into our thrift store. We have a group of ladies and gentlemen that come and that volunteer their time to set this up. It looks very professionally well done. The pricing is very low, and it helps the community. It helps again, give visibility to Valley Industries. They come in and they see our workers working there. We've heard statements that they don't see this in other thrift stores and whatnot. The end results of who this is benefiting. In our thrift stores, they see our workers working there, and they know right then what this is about.
Okay.
Absolutely.
As we wind down, plug your the Mayor's Ball.
The 6th
Real
annual
quick.
Mayor's
Yes.
Shamrock Ball.
Yes.
We are very excited this year. The ball is growing. The city of Ferguson has joined on this year, and Mayor James Knowles. So now you've got the mayors of Florissant, Mayor Schneider of Florissant, Mayor Knowles of Ferguson, Mayor Robinson of Hazelwood, and Mayor Norman Court of Blackjack all come together, and it's really neat to see those 4 cities and those 4 mayors come together to host a wonderful ball the whole purpose of the ball. It is not a political event. It is a fundraiser for Valley Industries,
cool,
so we
right.
can continue our employment program. So March the 2nd, 2013, tickets and sponsorships are available on our website. This is open to the public. We welcome anybody in the community to please buy a ticket, support the workshop, and come out. The Bob Cuban band will be playing. Everybody loves Bob Cuban. He's an old Florissant person from years back. And we have wonderful restaurants that sponsor their food, so you've got an opportunity to get some great food. We've got Yacovelli's here in town as a sponsor for the open bar. We've got Anheuser-Busch InBev that sponsors the beer. This is held at the beautiful Garden Villas North, so we really appreciate they're a big event sponsor, the Rotary Club of Florissant and Ameren UE, but the Garden Villas North gives us that big, beautiful 2-story banquet room and their staff to help out, and it is just, we have people, this will be the 3rd year that it's been at Garden Villas North. We started at the City Hall, and we just outgrew it. It was awesome to have it at the City Hall. It was a unique venue, but we just outgrew it. And with the Garden Villas North, we have people telling us it's like being on a cruise ship with those 2-story windows and the lighted deals and all that. So it's just a neat event.
As we end up, tell us how we can get a hold of you.
You can call us. The phone number is 314-731-1771 for any kind of quotes or bids on your jobs. Ask for Jerry Hart. If you want to come out to the thrift store, we're right there at 143 James S. McDonald Boulevard, Hazelwood, Missouri. You should just go out Lindbergh, make a left on McDonald, and we're just down about an 1/8 mile on the left just before Biassee. The workshop's located in the old Southern Cross lumber facility. Some of your residents probably remember Southern Cross.
We do. Jerry,
All right.
Thank you, sir.
thank you very
Pleasure.
much. Jim,
Thank you very much for
you.
having us on the show.
Welcome.
Thanks.
I'm Gary Bauman, and this is News You Can Use.